So it started, I had COVID August 2020, and I didn't really have many complications while I had COVID. It was more after. I had some heart problems. I was, getting dizzy a lot and passing out. And after going to the doctor multiple times, cardiologist, all the things, they told me the two biggest things that would help that would to increase how much water I was drinking and to lose weight. And that was my biggest motivator, was not really how I looked, but how I felt, because I was constantly miserable. And so I started out, doing it on my own, really kind of January 2021. Everyone has their New Year resolutions, and it really wasn't, it was working, but very slowly, and I was getting very discouraged because it was, I wasn't losing weight like I thought I should, and I was doing everything right, or I thought I did. So that's why I decided to come here. So we kind of just talked about my goals and where I was health-wise, and what kind of, the same thing. They asked me, what caused me to do this and what triggered it and all those things. And then, we just kind of went over, what my options were as far as like the plan and what they suggested. And it was a very detailed appointment. I left knowing exactly what I needed to do. And I didn't feel super overwhelmed. I had like a packet that I referred back to like every single day. And so even though like it was very structured, I knew that like, even if I didn't follow everything to 100%, because that's hard to do at first, you're making a big change in your lifestyle. I knew that like, as long as I was doing the best I could and following their guidance the best I could, I knew I was going back a month later. So like we could reevaluate, like, okay, this is working, this isn't. And that's kind of what she told me. I remember her telling me, if you don't think you can do, say, keto for the rest of your life, then don't do it. Do what's gonna work for you long term. And I think that's where I failed so many times in the past trying to do it myself, is I pick something like the new fad diet, and I can do it for a month and then it's not sustainable. And so I think that was the biggest hopeful thing for me, was knowing that what I was doing was going to be maintainable for long term. When I came in, I was on heart medication, blood pressure medication. My blood pressure was extremely high from the things I was dealing with from having COVID. So I would say for over 6 months now, I've been off of all medication. My blood pressure is very normal, not even elevated anymore. My heart rate is normal. I deal with anxiety like most people do. And although I still deal with that, because it's a stressful time in the world, it's not near as bad. Like the way that I handle things and the way my body reacts to things is a lot different. And I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say that the looks doesn't matter and how you feel about your body. But I just feel more confident, and I feel better all around. Being able to go outside and play basketball with my son, or play softball with my daughter, or sprint. The other day I sprinted up and down the basketball court with them, and I was out of breath, but it only took me a few seconds to recover, and I was like, can't imagine doing that a year ago. And my son has even said, man, I really love that, like, I can say, hey mom, come play catch with me, and I can. And it's not that I couldn't before, it's just that, one, I didn't have the motivation to do it, and it was hard. Like, it was something really hard for me to do. And growing up, I was a cheerleader, I did athletics, and so I was used to doing all of that, but it was hard with all of that extra weight. And so I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. My biggest recommendation to people is, like, don't be afraid to ask for help. it's easy to try to do it on your own and get discouraged. And that's the same cycle I was in for 10 years since having babies. Like, I'm just now losing the baby weight. And that's what happened. I would try on my own and get discouraged. And so my biggest recommendation to people is to, don't be afraid to ask for help, and people that are professionals at it and know what they're talking about. And I've recommended people to come here all the time just because it's, it keeps you accountable and it gives you the right guidance that you need.